Good morning from a gloomy, chilly Peterborough. First off, if you recall from the last video, I was looking at the probe sensor on the internal and external thermometer, and somebody quite rightly said that the external probe may not be suitable for water. It ain't. It's been reading 0.1, 0.4, all sorts of odd temperatures, so I took a pair of scissors and cut it off. So now that's what it reads. So the upper temperature is the internals of the greenhouse, and that's absolutely fine. And then I bought a floating thermometer, and as you can see, hopefully that's about 13 degrees. So one of the questions that was on my mind, and clearly the old thermometer wasn't proving that, was, is the polycarbonate sheet retaining the daytime heat or as close as possible? And the answer is yes. I got up at 7:30 this morning, very chilly, checked the floating thermometer underneath the polycarbonate, and it was reading 13 degrees. So those sheets down there are clearly working. I will keep monitoring just to make sure I'm not talking out of my backside, but I'm very confident that any daytime temperatures will be held, and when it comes to winter and the covers go on permanently, we might get better temperatures for those little fish. Anyway, moving on. As people know me well, I'm always inventing and creating, so I'm thinking about the future plans for the pond. As you should know, we're planning to make it double the volume by lifting the walls 600mm, and it'll go from just shy of 1500 to just shy of 3000. So in the meantime, I've been scouring the internet for filters. I've been looking at Nexus, Easy Pods, which we've got, drum filters, every kind of filter you could possibly think of. And I've also been across to Queni Koi over in Leicester to see Mike, and I've just found out that they are, I believe, discontinuing the QK15 and the QK22 and introducing a QK25. That's quite good. Also, the price is very competitive, so myself and Kat zoomed across there for a look, to have a look at these things, and I was very impressed. However, the combi unit is the same depth throughout, so the drum is the same depth and the biofilter is the same depth, and we're talking, I think it's about 800mm. Now I'd be struggling to get a combi in the pit where the Easy Pods are. So then I started looking at the individual items, which are the drum on its own and the biofilter on its own, and I got the drawings off the internet, which are here. You can download these, they're easy to get off the Queni Koi website. And I did some measuring, but I still couldn't visualise how it was going to fit. So I bought myself one of these and bought myself some wood. I then drew out and cut the plans for, let's say, the silhouette of the biofilter and the silhouette of the drum filter, and ended up with these. So that's the silhouette of the biofilter. The three legs are the maximum bends on a 4-inch, which is about, I think, 10-inch. So a 4-inch bend from horizontal to vertical either end, so it looks like a glorified wooden spider. I then created the same to create a drum filter, I've taken this end off because I'll explain why when we get back to the greenhouse. But these will be your infeed. So you've got one from the bottom drain and one from the skimmer for my application. You'll probably wonder why there is different heights on this box. This is purely for strength. This is the actual height of the box, and this is the actual height of the water level within the drum. Are you with me so far? Let's go outside. I'll put these on the floor, then you can see if I'm making sense. Hopefully I am. One moment. Right, so I've taken the two silhouettes, and now you've got to imagine that the easy pods are now missing, and I've replaced the easy pods with the biofilter and the drum filter as a separate entity. So that's how the biofilter would look, and that would sit maybe 300 ml down into the pit, and the majority of the box, the biofilter box, would be stuck up above. So just imagine that the UV, the electrics, all this will be all missing. This will slide further and basically sit within the pit. The drum, the actual bends is the same distance as the width of this shower. So I've taken these off the other end and basically put it against the shower. I cannot move the drum further in because of the shelf, it's just in the way, but I've used some tubs of Resolve to lift the drum 5" to create the water level, which should be roughly here. Now, as I said, these would be the 4" elbow, so coming out and dropping down, and that elbow needs to sit right above there. So if you can imagine pushing this entire box in, this would sit directly over that, which is exactly what I wanted. I then need to create a plinth just to sit this up fractionally to get the proper water level, and the same for the biofilter. The gap around the back, I need about 4", and surprisingly enough I get about 5" from the edge of this box to the wall. So the way things are looking, the separate QK25 and the separate QK150 biofilter on the Queni Koi website could well be the winner and what we purchase next year. I have got some photographs. I think they're of the QK25 combi, so you can see the overall look of how a combi looks, but in reality we hopefully will be getting separate items. That will leave sufficient gap in the centre for me to climb in and out, because we won't be using all 3 ports on the biofilter. We'll probably using 2 in, 2 out. I'm getting quite excited, to be honest. I'm quite looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we've got to get through winter, blah blah blah, and we've got to get into next year and start saving pennies. So I hope that sort of helps. I've got to be pretty much hands-on. I can visualise what I want, I can probably explain what I want, but when I build stuff out of wood, it seems a little bit more easier to explain and to get down on paper. But as it stands at the moment, I am very happy with that. That is going to look the absolute doodahs. Anyway, we'll probably have something else to blurb about, so we'll catch you later. Bye. Come on, you know you want to. Still 13 degrees. Skies are closing in now. It's been raining all day. Pretty grim. I've just started on some wheat germ, but we seem to have developed a new water feature. I've no idea what you call it, but the leaf fills up with water and then drops it off. Don't you agree? Clearly yes. So the wheat germ that we've got is this. Again, it's a Evolution Aqua product. 1 year round diet for koi and all pond fish. Look, about maybe 4 ml pellets, whereas the premium is slightly larger, maybe 5 to 6 ml pellets. So I'll keep you updated on that. As you can see, the fish have clearly liked it and the fish are eating it. So catch you later. One other aspect that we need to consider as well is, obviously there's cost with the drum, but I want a drum. I think now that people are getting older, they want something simpler, perhaps. I do, definitely. A consideration though is what we've already got. The pipe work, the pumps, the air pumps, the UVs are absolutely fine. They can be used again. The only issue we have, and it would be a very small issue, is the fact that the easy pods would have to be lifted up to the new running height of the water. There'd be a few pipework changes to create more space, but in essence everything would basically stay as it is. On paper, both the easy pods should easily cope with the new pond volume. The only problem being, and that's my problem, not anybody else's, is the shower would have to go. So the shower would be up for sale. Even with the new pond and the fact that showers are very, very good, I don't really want to use a shower on the new pod. I just don't like to see them on the sides of ponds. That's my own personal opinion. Doesn't mean to say that it's a bad idea. I just don't like that. So if you can imagine looking in this pit, the bottom drain pod would have to be lifted, oh, how high? Maybe, well, 2 foot, 600 mil. And the skimmer, that would have to be lifted 600 mil. The skimmer box, if we can actually chip it out of the wall before the extension goes up, that can be reused. If we find that we just simply cannot get it out, that will be buried and bricked up and a new one would have to be bought, and that would basically go somewhere here in between the gap. So yeah, in first place it has to be the drum filter and the separate bio. I really like that idea, but I might actually try the easy pods to start with and get the biofilter and the drum filter later. We shall see. It's all in the planning stage at the moment. As you can see, nothing has actually changed and won't be until next year. We're looking at March, April time before we start anything, so we've plenty of time to do a lot of thinking. In the meantime, thank you very much for the old subscribers, and thank you very much for the new subscribers. Both myself and Kat really appreciate it. The channel is growing quite well. We are very pleased with how it's going on. If there's any aspect of the pond or garden or anything that Kat does or myself does that you'd like to see, please let us know. But in the meantime, stay safe, look after your family and stay dry. Bye bye.